Bang, bang. What's up, guys? Lunch money time. While Wall Street's trying to get rich, the rest of us just trying to get our lunch money right. Coming to you every day around noon-ish because we don't have our shit together, sometimes at noon, sometimes at 5 p.m., but we'll get it to you every single day. I have the beautiful and intelligent Polina Marinova. Today, she looks like a traffic cone. We are ready to rock and roll on a Monday.
How do I look like this is not yellow.
Traffic cones are not yellow. We'll go ahead and educate you on that later. They're orange/reddish color.
Oh.
Let's get into Warren Buffett, though, the Oracle of Omaha, one of the richest men in the world. What's going on with him?
So the other day, we watched 4 hours of Warren Buffett talking about everything from America to airlines to buybacks.
Did we watch that, or did I watch it? And
well,
you got
secondhand listening.
And you just gave up at some point. You were like, "This is ridiculous."
No, I listened.
You did?
Yeah.
All right. So Warren Buffett's got $135+ billion of cash. He's sitting there while the economic downturn's going on. Everyone's saying, when is Omaha going to make a move? He hasn't done anything yet. He's still sitting there. And my big takeaway was he thinks it's probably going to get worse before it gets better. And at one point he got asked, why have you not bought any companies or provided any financing? He said, we haven't seen anything attractive yet, which is pretty telling given that the stock market went down 30%. So I think that's an interesting data point. He also sold 100% of his airline stake. Would you know what's going on in the airlines? Why he did that?
Yeah, because they're not doing well.
That's one way to look at it. So
because it'll last a while in the effects of the coronavirus.
For decades, he was very anti-airlines.
Oh, I thought you meant it'll last for decades.
No, for decades he was very anti-airlines. He at one point even wrote, I think in like 2007, something to the effect of, if a capitalist had been at Kitty Hawk when the Orville brothers, Orville Wright and his brother took flight, they would have shot down the plane, saying like, these are horrible investments. But in 2016, he surprised everybody and he took a major stake, kind of 7 to 10% in 4 separate US-based airlines, the 4 largest airlines in the United States. He held it for what ended up being about 4 years, and he completely sold the position. My take is that he thinks that the economics of those businesses are going to get screwed up because demand is down so much.
You know what I thought was interesting that he said?
What?
He said that being against stock buybacks is now politically correct, but there's nothing wrong with buybacks.
So there's nothing.
Think about that.
There's nothing wrong with a buyback because it's a tax efficient way to return value back to shareholders. The problem becomes when you tie the executive compensation to the buyback or to the stock price, because what it does is it changes the incentives, and now the executives are incentivized to take on debt and then use that debt to then go buy back their shares to prop up the stock price so that they make more money personally.
Got it.
So it changes the incentive structure. But we'll get to some debt, some over-leveraged companies in a couple of minutes. But before we do that, he was also asked about the Federal Reserve. He was actually very congratulatory towards the Federal Reserve. He spoke very fondly of Paul Volcker, who recently passed away, said, hey, that was probably the best Fed chairman, but the folks today are doing a pretty good job. He was very impressed with how quickly they acted and the fact that they used the 2008-2009 financial crisis playbook in order to help prop up markets. What do you think?
Okay.
Good?
I mean, sure.
All right. You don't seem very Warren Buffett fan today.
Oh, no, I like Warren.
You do? Why?
Yeah. I think he's a very sharp man.
Yeah, 89 years old.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy. All right, PPP number 3. What's going on there?
There could be a 3rd round of PPP small business loans coming as demand surges.
You know who said that?
Kudlow.
Larry Kudlow. Larry Kudlow is going to end up being the joke of this whole thing. So Larry Kudlow, he's like the National Economic Council director or something like that. And this is why Larry Kudlow is a joke. Larry Kudlow, when the stock market went down like 5-10%, went on national television and told everyone, buy stocks.
I remember that.
Right? And then a week later, when stocks had continued to fall, he went back on television and they asked him about it. He said, no, you should buy stocks. And so his whole thing here is he's trying to establish confidence in the market. I get what he's trying to do, but I want to know, what is Larry Kudlow's portfolio? What has Larry Kudlow been doing with his money?
What is his cash position is what I want to know.
What's his cash position? How much stock is he buying? How much is he selling? What is he shorting? You shouldn't be able to go on national television in the position that he's in and say, buy stocks. Make a specific investment recommendation without telling us what you're doing with your portfolio. Because if people realized, let's say that he was shorting stocks or he was selling stocks while he was saying that,
he could be making money.
People would just have a huge problem with it. It's unethical.
Right.
But we don't know what he's doing. And therefore we're listening to somebody's advice who's in a position of power and influence in the government that is not telling us what he's doing with his portfolio. Why should we listen?
What's in your wallet? Is that a commercial?
Capital One.
Oh, yeah.
No sponsorships here. No sponsorships here. PPP number 3, though, is the Paycheck Protection Program. They did $350 billion the first time, $310 billion. So what is that? That's $660 billion,
I don't know.
if my math is correct. And now they're talking about they may actually need to do a third round of this, hundreds of billions of dollars more. It's not confirmed.
If you've been watching Lunch Money, we said this could happen.
You're on fire today. Put a little traffic cone outfit on, and next thing you know, you're just directing traffic all over the place. All right, what's going on with Tesla?
So, I mean, Elon Musk, like every so often he says something controversial. I feel like it had been a while since he said the last controversial thing. So here he is again. I don't know if he was serious or if he was joking or if he was high, but he said, Tesla stock price is too high, in my opinion.
He tweeted this to millions of followers, and the stock price tanked. If you're a Tesla shareholder, you're probably pissed off because he just destroyed $15 billion of value.
Was he being sarcastic?
No, he probably was being dead serious.
Oh, really?
And it probably is overvalued. Like at the time he said it, it probably was. What was the price that he said it? Like $750, $770, something like that. Right. So I think it was $770, give or take, and it fell around $700. And so down 10%, people are like, oh my God, that's crazy. But there's a lot of people who actually think that the stock is overvalued. If he believes that, one could argue, like, at least he's saying it. How many CEOs out there think their stock's overvalued and don't say it?
That's ridiculous.
Why?
It's ridiculous.
They should be allowed to say what they believe.
Okay.
Right? As long as we know, again, what is he doing? Is he buying or selling?
But shouldn't he act in the best interest of shareholders? That was not in the best interest of shareholders.
There's an argument to be said, yes, that, but also too, he could be protecting shareholders saying, hey, the company's overvalued right now. Right? It depends on how you interpret it.
He wiped out $15 billion of value.
He created hundreds of billions or tens of billions of dollars of value.
So beyond that, then he started tweeting, don't need the cash, devoting myself to Mars and Earth. Possessions just weigh you down.
Yeah, he's just a free spirit, baby.
What is he talking about?
He's a free spirit.
He's about to have a baby, one.
Is he? Well,
yeah,
I don't think he's going to have the baby.
Right. But he is out here talking about how possessions. What is he?
Well, he said he's going to sell all of his possessions, including his house. He doesn't need anything.
Well, where's he going to live?
He's going to rent. He doesn't need to own the house. Why doesn't he just rent? The whole thing is that, yes, he says some crazy controversial stuff. He's probably one of the brightest minds that we have.
Of course, but it's just like I feel like he's sitting at home and he's like shaking. He's like, I haven't said anything controversial in 3 months. I gotta do it.
Well, he said a lot of controversial stuff. He remember when he came out against coronavirus?
Oh yeah, but even before that, I feel like it had been a while.
Yeah,
counting that into this chunk.
Do you want to know what's Elon Musk's birthday? I think that he was born in June. So you know who else was born in June?
Don't tell me.
Let's see what his birthday is.
Oh, sorry.
Come on, hurry. You got to be quick on the sticks here. June 28th. I told you he was born in June. You know who else was born in June? Kanye West. You want to know who else was born in June? Donald Trump. You want to know who else was born in June?
All the psychos.
I just think it's hysterical that all these people saying crazy shit on Twitter were all born in June.
You know who wasn't born in June?
Yeah, exactly. The traffic cone. All right, what's going on with J. Crew?
J. Crew has officially filed for bankruptcy. But what I thought was interesting is they said the retailer expects to stay in business and emerge from bankruptcy as a profitable company. What?
Yes. So bankruptcy, 2 points here.
Chapter 11.
Well, 2 points here. It's an over-leveraged company. These companies got raided by private equity firms who came in and said, I'm going to buy your company. I'm going to put all this debt on it. I'm going to use your cash flow to pay off that debt. I'm going to extract tons and tons of value. I bet you there's companies that made billions of dollars off of J. Crew investment firms. And now J. Crew is going to file for bankruptcy. But a lot of people forget bankruptcy does not mean that the stores just vanish, right? Or the employees all get fired. Bankruptcy is a protective legal process that says we are going to restructure this company and we will then allow it to continue to operate after the fact. And so when that occurs, you get something like what J. Crew's about to go through, where they will literally take those companies, they will get new ownership, a new capital stack. And when it comes out, they'll have been able to do things that they couldn't do outside of bankruptcy. So they can go to people that they owe money and say, we're not going to pay you, right? We're going to file for bankruptcy, all this kind of stuff. So overall, it's going to be a good thing, but the virus is accelerating trends, online commerce versus in-store retail. 2, private equity firms that over leverage these companies and suck all the value out. Not only do I, one, think that it's incredibly bad practice, but obviously two, it screws up these companies. And three is most of the employees will be okay because they're in this protection status. But at the same time, bankruptcy is not fun for anybody. J. Crew, you shop at J. Crew?
Not really, no.
Do you want to know who else shops at J. Crew that I know?
No.
It was Carol fucking Baskin.
She does not shop at J. Crew. She shops at
Walmart,
Hot Topic.
All right, what's going on speaking of murder and Carol Baskin, what's going on with the Murder Hornets? You see that transition? I should be like a host. Go ahead. Murder Hornets.
So the Murder Hornet is something that could make 2020 even more exciting than it is today.
Bzz. Bzz.
The New York Times has a story about Anthony. Has a story about this giant Asian hornet that is really, really large, and what does it say? It can fly. It speeds up to 20 miles per hour, and their stings are described as feeling like red hot thumbtacks.
They're scary. They're huge. The photo of them, they're like twice as big as a normal hornet.
And 50 people per year die from it in Japan. Wait, can I ask a really simple but very intelligent question? How does this hornet get, so it's now in the US. How does it get from Asia to the US?
Well, Miss Polina, they fly.
But the whole, okay.
20 miles an hour.
An entire ocean.
Well, I'm sure that the migration happens slowly over time. Or another crazy thing would be maybe it was like, you know what? I want to be like the Christopher Columbus of murder hornets. And so it just got on like a ship and kind of just, the ship came to America and then it hopped off. It was like, zzz.
It's really large, guys. And it's really scary looking.
Are you scared that it might kill people in the United States?
I mean, honestly, at this point,
that would make 2020 like complete.
That would make 2020 like a horror movie.
Murder hornets are here. So it's scary. The name Murder Hornet obviously is scary, but it really doesn't kill people. It kills 50 people a year. That's like nothing. It's like getting struck with lightning.
Say that to the people who died. It's called Vespa mandarinia. It's like a Vespa.
Okay, scientist Polina. Last Dance. What's going on with Last Dance?
Oh, so we watched the Last Dance documentary again last night.
What episode numbers?
4 and 5.
5 and 6.
5 and 6.
Nice. Good job. Way to pay attention.
And what else?
What happened? What do you remember?
Oh, I met Tony Kukoc.
Oh, Tony Kukoc is featured. He's the
man. No, listen,
he was getting abused. He was getting abused like a little boy. Literally getting abused on the court.
You know what? His country, all these dudes were like, oh, Tony's soft, whatever. His country was going through a civil war when he was in the Olympics. And
that doesn't make you tough.
Oh my God. Are you crazy?
Hold on, time out. This is a fallacy, right? Fallacy, SAT
How is
word.
it a fallacy?
Just because your country is going through war, if you're not participating in the war, that doesn't make you tough. He's playing basketball. He's literally at the Olympics. How tough is he? He's at the Olympics. I could make the argument that
I'm gonna put a muzzle on you.
I could make the argument that he's actually soft because he decided to go play basketball rather than go fight in the war.
No. He decided to stay and play in Europe for a few more years so that he could be near his family as all this. It was a crazy war. If you've seen the documentary, what is it? Once Brothers, really good.
back.
Yes, it's the same war when Yugoslavia kind of tore apart. Anyway, all these bros who've never been through anything were like, oh, he's soft, and then he came back and did it again and was better. And I like Tony Kukoc. I would gladly be Tony Kukoc. Okay, ready?
Did you like the documentary? Are we a thumbs up or thumbs down on the Michael Jordan documentary?
We're a thumbs up. Did you see that fun fact that you sent me that apparently the documentary is not even completely finished, but they started releasing it because people were in quarantine? They
were supposed to release it in June. They sped it up to April on ESPN, and some of the early episodes were done. But right now, the reason why they're releasing them over a number of weeks is because they're literally finishing the final episodes now. They're still cutting them up.
So much pressure.
Yeah, a little bit. Tony Kukoc.
What'd you like about Last Dance?
Michael Jordan's just a gangster. Like he is so competitive. it didn't matter what it was. My favorite part of the whole thing is when he's standing in his like little private room in the locker room and he's literally throwing coins. Who can get it closest to the wall? And he's gambling with the security guards. Like they're sitting there literally throwing it. Who can get it closest to the wall? That's something that like degenerates do.
And you know what's really funny? So it's like when I play chess with you. So I beat him really bad last time. Now he won't play chess with me because that is
literally fake news.
That is not. You will not play chess with me because I'm so good now.
We play almost every day, and I've won twice as many games as you have.
But you know what I noticed about Michael Jordan is that very similarly to you, when you win, it's all, oh, it's my ability. I'm so good. But when the other person wins,
it's rigged. It's rigged.
You're cheating.
Yeah, it's rigged.
Somehow it's rigged. And that's what Michael Jordan told the security guard. He was like, I don't know, like your coin like rolls. And he goes, watch this money roll in my pocket.
Get money, get paid.
Get money, get paid.
No, but it's like that's part of the enjoyment of being competitive is talking shit.
It's so annoying. I hate
like when I beat you in chess and I know I got you and I start talking shit and I'm like, you got nowhere to go and you get mad. That's part of the fun of winning.
But then when I beat him,
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
I don't do that to you. I just like calmly put the pieces back together and move on with my life.
I'll teach you how to talk shit. You'll have so much more fun competing. You'll be like, oh, this is a lot of fun. Like taking little victory laps, but then you gotta have thick skin so that when somebody beats you, you don't cry.
I don't.
Not that that's ever happened. Go ahead, Sad Eels. What's going on? Speaking of crying.
The Sad Eels, guys. So there's this aquarium in Japan that has these eels. And because of quarantine, the eels have gotten really shy because they haven't had human contact. So now the aquarium is asking people to volunteer to FaceTime with the eels.
Who holds the phone?
No, they set up tablets around the tank.
And the eels are just like, what's up?
Yeah, they like come out of their cage, they bury themselves in the sand, which is kind of what I want to do right now. But they bury themselves in the sand because they're sad and shy, and then
they come out and they just look and they look.
Yeah.
Do they talk? Do you know what sound the eels make?
No. What was that?
Yeah, it's the eel noise. Everybody knows that. You never practiced that as a little kid? They're like, what's a dog do? And everyone barks. And they're like, what's a cat do? And they're like, what's an eel do? And everyone goes,
One time I had a few glasses of wine and I started thinking, like, what sound does a giraffe make?
What?
Have you ever thought about that?
Do you know what sound it is?
Well, I looked it up.
What's the noise?
Kind of like that.
No, come on, make the noise.
No, it's kind of like that.
What's the noise?
No.
You're not being any fun today. That's fine.
Eel.
All right, but listen, but do we think that this is going on with other animals in zoos as well? Like,
I bet they miss humans.
Like the eels are kind of, they're eels. It's fine. Like they live in the water or whatever. It's not like humans are like going in the water all the time with them. But like, imagine if you're like a monkey, and you're like, man, it's so much fun to mess with all those people when they come here.
The monkey have their monkey friends.
Do the eels not have eel friends?
Not really. They're kind of solitary, and they have.
What are you, an eel expert?
Yeah, they go back to their cautious wild nature.
All right.
But
actually, you're kind of like a human version of an eel. You just go bury yourself on the couch sometimes and make weird noises like, hey. All right, what's going on? Lunch money winner. Bang, Ooh. Bang. Who is the winner? Anna Helena Cano? All right. We followed you on Twitter. We're trying. Yeah, here we go. The joke was I'm fully invested in watching your videos. That's really, really good. So Anna, go ahead and you have to follow me back so I can DM you so that we can send you the money. But you are the winner. Please follow back so that I can DM you. And Polina really liked this one. Thankfully, she's not wearing her vest today. She's just wearing her traffic cone outfit. No problem.
You never know when you got to direct some traffic.
We have 1 minute left, 60 seconds. Do you have any takeaways from the weekend, any news for the people, any messages, anything to look forward to this week?
You can look forward to lunch money and being kind to your friends. That's
your message?
What's your message?
My message is get money, get paid.
I thought you were going to do it.
Can I steal it from you? Polina is very a little jumpy right now because along with the murder hornets of
don't do it.
I also told her I yesterday while we were sitting on the couch said, do you know what the cobra is? And she was like, what's that? And I hit her with one of these where I went like this and, and I whacked her right on the head.
No, it went like.
No, I went.
That's not what you did. You made the sound. Don't lie.
The cobra and the murder hornets. We got a whole little a little zoo of murderous animals going on over
Guys,
here.
quarantine is really tough. It's
right.
getting hard.
It's all right. We're gonna get through this together. All right, guys. Listen, thanks so much for watching today. Lunch money while Wall Street's trying to get rich. The rest of us just trying to get our lunch money right. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. We will do our best to answer all of them.
One more thing. Did you notice he shaved his beard? Somebody the other day commented that your beard needed a V-shaped recovery.
Well, it got a V-shaped recovery, 1 and 2. I had shaved a mustache this morning, and I looked, and Polina was still sleeping because she likes to sleep in, unlike the rest of us.
Not true.
And while she was sleeping, I was heavily considering leaving the mustache.
And what were you gonna tell people? He told me a joke that should never be repeated.
Oh, I was going to start out the episode with, hello, I mustache you a question. She's not the only one with dad jokes around here. All right, guys, listen, that's it for today. We appreciate you watching. Subscribe, like, comment, and let us know in the comments what you think of Polina and all of her bad jokes. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
You have bad jokes.